Welcome back to my channel, and thank you everyone for joining me here today. There are multiple lawmakers that have agreed to send out monthly payments of $1,200 to eligible Americans. It is possible that the new budget plan will provide low-income families with more financial assistance. August 2021 will go down in history as a huge month for U.S. politics, with Joe Biden overseeing a huge bipartisan infrastructure bill that will see more than $1 trillion spent over roads, bridges, broadband internet, electric utilities, public transport, and much more. But many people are wondering, what does this mean for the stimulus packages that have been rolled out over the past year? It seems quite clear that public debt will rise as a result of this infrastructure bill. In fact, the Congressional Budget Office projects that deficits will reach $2 trillion within 10 years, so costs will surely have to be cut elsewhere. With positive results being observed from various schemes, including a reduction in food poverty, there have been calls for the U.S. government to continue with the post-crisis projects.
Structure, the president spent the last 10 days making very clear his view on the merits of the corporate tax increase, and the White House has rejected user fees as paid for. Bless you, Chris. The Republicans have made clear the 2017 tax law is a non-starter and are proposing user fees to pay for it. I don't understand what the deal space is here when their pay-fors are considered non-starters by you guys and your pay-fors are considered non-starters by theirs.
Well, this is a big week ahead, Phil. So big week for someone who covered Capitol Hill and is now covering the White House. Look, I think the president's red lines are inaction and are anything that would raise taxes on people making less than $400,000 a year. Those are not areas where he is going to move. He is quite open, as is evidenced by the fact that he invited Senator Capito and a group of members to meet with him in the White House later this week. He's very open to having a discussion about where we can find agreement, where we can move forward. And he has been encouraged by the spirit in which Senator Capito and other Republican colleagues are engaging with him. And he's hopeful that the meeting will be constructive. Now, you're right, and what you touched on, which is an interesting piece of this, is that the disagreement is really about the pay-fors. There is agreement about the need to modernize our infrastructure, about the need to do more to create jobs in the economy. And he's looking forward to hearing what additional ideas they may have.
One more quick one. I understand where you guys and the Fed are, that inflation right now is transitory if it pops to the degree that it does. You know, the jobs report kind of was a reminder that we don't necessarily have a roadmap for coming out of a once-in-a-century economically. Are you guys concerned about what would happen if you're wrong and it's not transitory and this ends up being an actual real problem in the weeks or months ahead when it comes to inflation?
Well, let me first say that our economic team watches this incredibly closely, including our Secretary of Treasury, who has an expansive background in watching inflation. And so we have confidence in both their assessments to date and also the fact that they will watch this as we continue to assess the state of our economy. I will say that, and the President will talk about this shortly, I should say, later this afternoon, that his view is that
Democratic lawmaker Rosa DeLauro told MSNBC News, the policies over the last several months have had a profound impact on lowering child poverty in the United States. But it isn't enough that this program is for a year or that it extended for 2 or 3 years, as it has to be permanent if this is going to work. Her viewpoint is actually quite a common one in Washington, D.C. Representative Ilhan Omar, along with other progressive Democratic lawmakers, proposed legislation that would dole out regular stimulus checks or guaranteed income through monthly payments of $1,200 for adults and $600 for children. The Minnesota Congresswoman announced the proposal, saying that poverty is a choice, in a press release and a Twitter post about the proposed legislation. Fellow Democratic Representative Dwight Evans of Pennsylvania, Marie Newman of Illinois, and Jamal Bowman of New York also endorsed the bill. In an official statement about the bill, Ilhan Omar had stated, "For too long we have prioritized endless growth while millions are homeless, hungry, or without health care. This crisis has laid bare these inequalities. We as a nation have the ability to make sure everyone has their basic needs like food, housing, and health care met." Ilhan Omar also pointed to pilot programs in various places across the country that have provided guaranteed income to some Americans. The Congresswoman argued that the United States should become the leader in measuring and safeguarding our people's economic well-being, saying her legislation would be a start in that direction. In addition to that, Representative Bowman stated, "We need a paradigm shift in how we measure and evaluate our economy. If my district, New York 16th, was a country, it would have the 8th worst inequality in the world. Our barometers for economic success, as well as our policies, must be centered around meeting basic levels of care and dignity for all of our people." So everyone, what are your thoughts about guaranteed income programs? Please leave your thoughts on this in the comment section below. This program, if the legislation were to pass, would not immediately begin sending out $1,200 checks to most Americans. Instead, it would create a $2.5 billion grant program to fund pilot guaranteed income programs across our country. These programs would then be studied from the year 2023 to the year 2027, and then the national program would begin in 2028. By then, the legislation would provide $1,200 per month to people earning less than $75,000 a year. The heads of households with an income of $112,500 would receive $1,200 under the program, and $600 would be provided for each minor child. The guaranteed income plan structure is similar to that of the 3 stimulus checks that were sent out by the federal government amid this crisis. Through the Bipartisan CARES Act in March 2020, the government provided most Americans with one-time payments of up to $1,200, plus additional funding for minor children. A follow-up bipartisan package, which was passed in December 2020, provided another round of $600 direct payments for most Americans. After President Joe Biden took office, Democratic lawmakers pushed through his American Rescue Plan without any Republican support. That legislation provided another round of $1,400 stimulus checks for most Americans. It also implemented a new child tax credit system, which went into effect last month. Under that plan, parents and guardians have begun to receive $300 per month for each child under the age of 6. They also receive $250 per child for each child between the ages of 6 and 17. So everyone, that's the end of the video for this morning. I really hope you found some of this information helpful, and I truly appreciate all of you joining me here today. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so